Lovely people, it's Laura here, and this is the first of our series to help you succeed in digital marketing, including Instagram and Facebook. So, welcome on board, everyone, and thanks very much for turning up on this event. Uh, I do apologize for being 1 minute late. I had to connect my camera, which was connected to another computer, so it's a little bit iffy, but it's all done now. Hi, Jan. Nice to see you here. So we're going to put this in the training room anyway, so you can actually start watching it. So if you missed it, you can go back in the learning unit and you can watch this presentation live. If you've got any questions, Jan, let me know. But I'm just going to crack on with what I collected with the team. It's a research and a half that we had to figure out what Instagram actually wants you to do and why so many people are getting banned. And funny enough, we did actually get the results we were expecting, which is the more natural you appear on social media, the better positioning you will get. So the easy buttons and the bots will not work. But let's start with the Shadowban. What is it and why it's going to affect so many accounts on Instagram? Funny enough, Instagram users, you would think that it's the young women, but it's not. It's most the greatest category is 20 to 25 males. So and that actually explains why so many accounts got banned, because they are more likely to use bots and automation and the black hat methods as well, and it will get you the same results as black hat in SEO, gets you banned and disappearing. Now, Instagram wasn't that harsh with the shadow ban as Google might have been. All they did was they restricted who can see your posts. So if you were doing something dodgy and they figured out that you were doing something dodgy, like overusing hashtags or using bots, they simply made your post disappear from the search results. But it's just a hashtag search. So let's say someone's overusing digital marketing, hashtag digital marketing, and every post, even if it's a picture of their cat or a coffee or a cute dog or something funny, they still use the same tag, which is not related to their content. They are going to get found out. So it's good news for ethical marketers like you and me, Jan, and it's bad news for people using bots, pretty much. So you can find out if you're banned, and I will tell you in a second how you can find it out. But basically the difference is that Instagram's only going to show your content to people who already follow you, and Instagram's not showing your post based on the hashtag search function, which is on the top of the page. In the search button you can search by hashtag, so just put down the hashtag and then the tag that you are searching for. If your post doesn't come up in that search, that means you've been shadow banned, because it's not a public post. So it is available for your followers, so you're not losing followers, but you're not getting new ones, which can be a massive issue for brands that are trying to grow online using Instagram. Visual brands, for example, people selling crafts, or Etsy shop owners, or even makeup artists. I know they can't even work these days, but come on. So anyone who is in the visual marketing and e-commerce shops are going to suffer. So here's a simple way to check whether or not you've been banned. First of all, you should use the hashtag search function, as I said, and if your posts are not coming up, you're likely to be banned. However, you've got to be looking at a smaller hashtag. So you're not likely to find your own post if you're using marketing, because you use marketing and it's got like, I think last time I checked it had 16 million posts on Instagram. So you might be there, but you don't actually have the time to scroll through all that. So anything that you use that's not too big, so there won't be many results that you use regularly. Just search for that. If your post is not there, you've got a problem and you will have to sort that out. There are some software to do this, and we did come across one, but to be honest, there's no need for it. So there's no need to use a software, an outsider, to check if you've been banned, because you can just do it with a simple hashtag search. And if you've been banned, pretty much you will have to clean house. So you will have to clean up your posts, you've got to make sure that you're on brand, and I will cover that aspect of Instagram marketing in a bit when I talk about how Instagram wants you to do business and wants you to engage with people, and what they don't want you to do. Now, here are some things you should avoid if you haven't been banned yet, but you're worried that, oh, maybe my marketing agency is some automation, because they do that, don't they, when they add like 20,000 followers on your account on Facebook and Instagram, all in the Philippines or Nigeria overnight. Obviously, Facebook and Instagram are going to figure out that they didn't just come naturally, did they? So one of the ways to get banned is to overuse a certain hashtag. So how we do that, and that's a really useful strategy we've got built in the company as a standard operating procedure, that we have a hashtag file for every client, and we look for the big ones, so 5 from the quite big ones, 5 from, let's say, 100,000 to 500,000, 50,000 to 100,000, and the smaller ones that are more relevant to the individual posts. So when we are creating a post for a client, we always pick the most suitable hashtags. Now there's a common question about hashtags, where to put them. It can be funny to use it in the text, however it's more like for the younger audience. So if you want to play with words and text and stuff, you can do that. The best place to put it is really to the bottom of the Instagram post, or you can submit as many as 30 hashtags in the comments, so you can do that as well. If it does actually make your post more tidier as well if you put them in the comment, but it does require manual engagement. Obviously, the second way to get Shadowban is using non-human interactions. So I've never done that, used them, and I heard of them because I do get these requests on Instagram, or we can get you this many followers and we can automate your messaging service. Just don't fall for it, because that's a surefire way of getting banned. Don't do that. So any bots that send out messages, but also the automated responses. So if someone's commenting on your account and this software automatically says, thank you very much for commenting, go there, that's considered as spam, and you will get shadow banned as well. The third way is liking and commenting on every post on your feed, and I've seen that this when my teenage daughter was younger. She used to do that to get followers, and it did actually work, but it doesn't work anymore. So you just go search for a hashtag or your feed, and just put a heart on it or hands up or whatever and expect that their followers are going to follow you. And Instagram and Facebook, they are not stupid. It's the same company, by the way, but they are not stupid. So they will flag that up as a spam. So if you don't have anything meaningful to say and you don't have anything valuable, just like with blog commenting or anything, just just shut up. Seriously, you don't have to do these shortcuts, and it might be the easy button, but it's the easy button to get you banned as well. So just make sure that you find accounts similar audience as yours and contribute to that account. Useful, supportive comment instead of just putting a heart on or whatever. It's just not going to work. It's a cheap way of getting followers and getting in followers who will probably have no value for you and they will never become your tribe. Yeah, that's this is a number 4 is quite similar to number 2. It's buying followers, and oh my god, I've seen this a million times when people say I've got this many followers and they've got no interaction on their Facebook or Instagram page whatsoever. And then you dig deeper into it. We use Social Pilot for analyzing clients' accounts that actually shows the location, the time zone, the age group, everything. And then you find out why there's no interaction where those people are compared with what the client's ideal client is. So never buy followers because they might be cheap, they might look like a good idea, but long term they are not going to be a good idea. Number 5, this is really important. Your posts are not personalized or consistent with your business goals. Jen, do you really? I never got them, you know. I got them on Facebook, Friday and Saturday night, looking for a date. That's funny. What hashtag do they use, by the way? Is it date night or I don't know, but that's really funny. By the way, what do you do with them, John? Do you message them back or do you send them to a link or something? It's really funny. So yeah, not personalized. So that's probably something that you might consider. So I've seen a couple of accounts where someone's selling a professional service and excuse my language, but the boobs are shouting at you through the screen. I'm not saying you've done it, Jan, but you've got to make sure that your posts are personalized and they are targeted at the audience and match your business goals. So if you would like to get people to buy from you, you are going to showcase your products and you're not going to talk about other things. Obviously, you can lighten up your content and your feed because nobody wants to see sales posts all the time, but it's got to be on brand every single time. With your colors, with your logo, if you can do that branded and have the same message really. Now there's another thing that I see loads when people are posting empty pictures. Now I don't know, you've got a daughter who's younger. If she's using Snapchat, probably that's coming from Snapchat when people are sending each other a photo of the wall and then that's it, or a photo of their eye or earlobe or something, and that's supposed to be the communication, but Instagram doesn't actually like that type of communication, so the image itself is not going to tell Instagram what it's. Oh, you ignore them, that's good. I think it is the best way. I blocked a few people on Facebook because of that. They said, "Oh, hello, pretty lady." I said, "What you want? Serious? And what you want from me?" So, so that's just one of them. We are living in a global world, and as they say in Hungary, God's zoo is ginormous. So there are different people with different values and different goals on social media because it's free. So if you post a photo and just hashtags and that's all, then Instagram's not going to know what you really mean and what you want people to do or why are you posting it. So relying on hashtags and not valuable content or something that will inspire people or inspire them to follow you or inspire them to have a look at your IGTV account or click on your profile, then it's just automation, and the automation is amazing because it saves us a lot of work, but you can't just rely on that, just like you can't rely on hashtags only. Number 7, broken hashtag that's associated with a content that's not appropriate, or it might be just something not relevant, and hashtags are funny things, aren't they? So make sure that you check out what's posted under that hashtag, otherwise you might end up disappointed. So you always check what's posted under that hashtag in case you get into something that you don't want to get into, because they are really funny, especially if you're over 40 like me. You will really have to be careful, because I sometimes have to get the kids to explain some new phrases to me. So make sure that the hashtag you're using is relevant to your business and it's not about something else, and it's not used by another brand, because we've had that issue when a client wanted to use a hashtag and we actually made a mistake of not checking who's using that hashtag, and they actually wrote us an email saying, "Oh, this is copyrighted by the way to your brand," so we had to stop using that hashtag for them. So it's always important that you check the hashtags are relevant and they are not monopolized by another company in your industry. I haven't seen this happen to our clients, but number 8 is when your account is often reported. So the reason you will be reported is the automation and the emails and the spamming and stuff like that. So just make sure that you're not pissing off anyone, really. And number 9, I know COVID is a big thing, and I got into an argument on LinkedIn about that the other day, because I just made up a phrase basically, and it wasn't about COVID, but it did have COVID in, and he just jumped on it like anything, saying I hate it when people use COVID and for marketing and stuff like that. So we had a bit of an argument over that. But Facebook and Instagram are really big on accuracy at the moment because of the fake news movement and Trump's activities and things. So if it's related to anything legal or COVID or public health or anything like lawsuits, just avoid it. Just don't talk about it. Politics, don't talk about it. It's not the way. If you are using Facebook for business, just leave your politics behind every single time, because it can be flagged up. Even if it's accurate or you believe that it's true, Facebook might say it's not, and then you will get into trouble with them. Number 10, yeah, it's happened, and I really don't know why people do this. it's using other people's content without permission. I mean, why would you do that? If you can't come up with an idea, you shouldn't be in business, seriously. So, I don't know why people copy each other's posts, but they do, apparently, because that's what Instagram says. Especially if they've got the copyright to the material, or they've got the logo, or they've got the hashtag or something like that, that it's not going to work. So these are the 10 ways to get banned. So if you avoid it and you manage to avoid it, well done. Now here's what Instagram's suggesting to people. It was actually about a year ago, but it's still relevant. What they really want you to do on Instagram. So the first thing they want you to do is focus on your business objective or goal. So everything needs to point in the right direction instead of the hashtags. So obviously it's good to have a hashtag strategy, and we always do. But at the same time, you've got to know what you want to get out of Instagram and be consistent. Quality of content. I know, Jan, you can talk about it for possibly hours, how bad some of the content out there is when it comes to blogs and stuff, and that they can pay and they can both produce articles in India, but it's never going to rank because it's just not quality. It doesn't add to people's lives at all. So it's got to be good, it's got to be useful, it's got to be creative. Anything you put out there, because quality matters so much more than quantity, believe me. So the 3 principles Instagram's giving to you to work with are really simple. So one of them is visuals. So have your brand colors, have your logo, have your format saved, and make sure that it looks consistent, not like bombs exploded or a bombed out church, as our marketing director would say. It's got to be consistent with your brand, so it's easy to recognize, because the more people see the same visuals, the more they will remember you, and the more they will associate your posts with your brand, and that's when the magic happens. The second principle is to be a storyteller. So on social media we often do marketing, buy, but people don't buy the product, they buy the story behind it. So let's say you've got a shop, why you set up your shop, what's the values behind the business. Yeah, I've seen your feed. It's really on brand. Yeah, I absolutely love your feed. Yeah, it's really important, because people look at your account and they see the list of posts in a grid. So that's the reason it's got to be consistent, and people need to recognize it. So whether you want to increase awareness about something or drive sales, you've got to make sure that you are telling a story visually, which is an art in itself, but at least don't just put photos out there that are meaningless, and always write the copy with it, because believe it or not, people do actually read the posts on Instagram. They don't just look at the pictures. Well, the kind of people you want as customers will not just look at the pictures. Let's put it this way. And number 3 is put some thought into the creative. So all the automation and graphic design tools, from Canva to the other ones we use, they are aids. They are like crutches, sorry. It's a bit late today. So, but you still have to do the hard work, and you still have to use that aid to get from A to B. And just picking the first template that comes across and oh, it's cool, everyone else is using it, it's not going to make you stand out. Obviously you can still use the same post, and we sometimes do that if we use the same post for Instagram and Facebook and other platforms, but your Instagram brand has to be there and your creatives have to represent your business. And it's got to be relevant to your audience, and that goes down, that all boils down to one thing that me and Jen always talk about, which is the ideal client. And it's not your ideal client like other marketers try to shove it down your throat. What's their age and what's their education and where they live. It's not that. It goes much deeper than that. What's their frustrations? What are the questions they are not even asking? What are the most urgent problems they are facing at the moment? And how can you help them out? So marketing and running a business, in my opinion, and I'm going to go off a little bit on this, it should never be about what's in it for me. It should probably be about how can I help. And it reminds me of, I don't know if anyone's seen New Amsterdam, the guy who becomes the medical director, and he starts walking around and asking the questions, how can I help? And he's the director, but he's still asking every single, from the cleaners to the doctors, surgeons, how can I help? So you've got to be that person on Instagram, Facebook and every social media platform, including your blog, who's asking the question, how can I help? And if your Instagram business account represents that, then it's definitely going to work. So no, there's no shortcuts that pay off and are not going to damage your reputation. I'm sure that Jen can talk a lot about how getting banned from Google can damage your reputation quite a lot and actually cut off your income stream completely. And that can happen on Instagram. Buying followers it's a big no-go. Influencers, yes, if it's a manual interaction and the accounts are relevant to your account and you build a real partnership, then influencers can be a really good way of boosting your profile. If someone who shares the same values backs you. But if you're just posting, I think there's a couple of sites where you can find influencers and get shout outs and stuff like that. I would personally never ever do that because it's just automation. You can get short-term results, but you are in business. Well, hopefully everyone in this SMA Marketing Hub group is in business long-term. I know I am. And that's why it's sometimes worth waiting until people come to you, like us when we get a message on LinkedIn saying, oh, someone recommended you, or people call us saying, oh, we found you on Google under this review. It will take time. It didn't happen overnight. And it's not going to happen overnight for anyone, no matter how much networking you're doing or how many times a day you're posting on Instagram. It's all about consistency, and that's exactly what Instagram wants you to do. So if you're not planning on getting banned, you've got to be a little bit more patient with Instagram, especially with so many accounts. And just to lighten up the mood a little bit, I think that it's a good news. It's really, really good news for honest and honest marketers out there who are actually doing things right, because that means that people who are using bots and taking the shortcuts, they are not going to be in the race, so we can get our voices heard for our clients obviously and for our own brands. So that's pretty much the Shadowban. Message, and they want you to provide value for the followers as well, and then you're safe. Any questions, Jan? By the way, we do have a presentation coming out on this, so I will put it on the group. I just asked our social media manager to put the presentation together, so it's going to be in the feed very, very soon, so everyone can have a look at the summary of it instead of just listening to me. So you can maybe go in, check whether or not you are banned, and then move forward with a strategy, because it does require a little bit of strategy and a little bit of planning, forward planning, long term. So last chance for questions, and I'm going to check out because I still have a couple of accounts to sort out, but that's fine. I do enjoy doing these lives and putting them in the learning units as well, because I think it will help quite a few people in the community, and I also believe that whatever you give out you will get back anyway. So I really enjoy this. Next week I think it's going to be Facebook algorithm changes, if you can make it. If not, you can watch this back anytime and look out for the presentation as well, which should be scheduled for this week to go out, just to accompany this this little video. So I'm just going to go ahead and add this to the learning unit. Thanks very much, Jan, and have a fab evening with your little kitties. I mean, not that little, big ones. Bye.